reactors. So I'm on chapter 21 and it states, but I felt better and looked better, didn't I? Fur. Surprisingly, the building door was open when Fur rushed through, headed for Mike's apartment. Just as infested as before, she hoped bugs wouldn't fall on her body and that he'd give her what she needed, even though she didn't have a dollar to her name. She knocked heavily on Grand's door, stepped back, and waited for it to open. When Grand Mike answered and motioned for her to come inside, Fur rushed in and stood in the middle of the floor. I see you on time. He closed and locked the door. You got my money? She looked at him and thought about exchanging sexual favors for what she needed. But when her eyes roamed over his dirty nails, matted hair, and filthy apartment, she thought otherwise. Look, I don't exactly have your money, but what do you mean you don't exactly have my money? Brian asked, looking at Fur harshly. When you called earlier, I thought I made myself clear. Bring my cash and I'll give you what you asked for. I'm sorry, I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't important. But I found that in order for me to be good, I had to double or triple my doses. He didn't respond. I'm out of medication. I'm out of medicine now. She pleaded with her eyes. But I had an outbreak. But I had an outbreak and everything. Even fell out in the gym, she posed. I really need your help. And I'll be willing to do whatever you can to get it. You're not understanding me. I need my money prior to my service rendered. This isn't a charity foundation. I know, but get out, Fur. He turned to walk away. She balled up her fist up and said no. He stood and faced her again. Then he slowly approached. What did you say? She swallowed and moved away from him. I said I'm not going anywhere until you give me what I need. Tears ran down her face. All my life this shit has been eating at me. And that's the only thing that works. It's not like I'm not going to pay you back, Gran. When I get some money, give me a few days. You're not hearing me. I want my cash straight up. And if you don't have it, there's not a whole lot I can do for you. I'll be clear. He saw she was desperate and wanted to fuck with her mind. Since it was obvious she didn't have his funds and the relationship would end today. You are pathetic. He walked around her and as she stood in the middle of the floor. You had no idea that what I gave you only works because you believe it would. What are you talking about? The playboat effect. He winked. When your cousin asked around trying to find some information about your condition, I got word back to him after looking up your ailment. I knew you would believe whatever I told you because you wanted to die. You didn't want to die, or worse. He rubbed her cheek. Lose your looks. I don't believe you. It does work for me. I'm better. He laughed in her face and said, get the fuck out. I'm telling you the truth, and you're not even listening. If it wasn't for Camo, you would be hurt right now. Grant was staring at her until he was no longer able to use his eyesight due to the bullet that penetrated his face. His body dropped on the floor, and blood poured out of him and dampened the dirty carpet. Lisa's gun, which Fur borrowed earlier from her room, shook in her hands as she stuffed it in her purse. Looking down at him, she said, it does work. I wasn't going to hurt you if you just gave me what I needed. She stopped down where his body lay. She ran through his apartment looking for the cooler he was supposed to give her when he got his money. In the first two rooms, she found nothing, and she wondered if he had plans to rob her all along. Going into the final room, she noticed a bed, which had a rope and a roll of duct tape on top of it. She knew then that he had plans to rob her if she didn't pull the trigger and kill him first. Now she felt Totally justified. Nervous, she wiped her fingerprints off everything she touched and bolted out the door. Cosmo, I need you to keep it real with me, Fur said as she sat in her car in a dark parking lot. Night has fallen on DC, and she was glad because she needed privacy. It was a good thing he called from jail when he did, because she really needed to speak to him. This is serious. Why you gotta come at me like that? You know I always keep it real with you. She took a deep breath and said, good, because I'm not going to be able to use Grant anymore. Good, you don't need him. No, I really need you to understand what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not going to be able to use him, but I still need help. Will you help me? It got silent. You hear me, Cosmo? Yeah, I hear you. I need you to tell me what he gave me. That made me feel better. He charged me $1,600, and it was worth it. $1,600? What the fuck? It was supposed to be $50, just enough so you would believe it's real. Fur was startled and Cosmo was angry that he played his cousin. Fur, I don't know how to say this. You were fucked up all them years, and I made you that promise. So I got somebody who said they knew what you needed. What was it? She cried. Please. He sighed. What did it taste like? It got silent. Fur rubbed her forehead and said, don't make me say it. Fur, you don't need what he gave you. You probably never did. Grant is in the business of selling dreams and you bought one. And if you ask me, you paid a little bit too much. If it worked, don't worry about nothing else. It was real for me, she cried. But I felt better and looked better, didn't I? He signed and said, I'm going to kick it to you. You remember the language you used back in the day with your sister and Shadow? Yes, I know it too. And you're about to use it again, starting now. Wow. So that was it. So I'm going to be back with chapter 22. I'll be back.